Most people have no idea what grad school is actually like. I've been in grad school for 3 years now, and honestly, it is nothing like what I expected when I started the program. My views of grad school are so drastically different than they were when I first started. The first thing I want to talk about is this expectation that people have that, grad students are like the smartest, most amazing people. And sure, yes, they are amazing people. But I almost used to idolize grad students as an undergrad. I used to think, wow, these people are so smart. These people are the most hardworking people I know. And it was kind of a play on the grad school stereotype of working late in the lab, and I honestly really admired it. But once I got into grad school, I started to realize it's not really that impressive. Like, it's just grad school. There are so many people who who don't do the grad school stereotype of spending long hours in the lab. Honestly, I see people who work mostly remotely on their PhDs, and they work maybe a couple hours a day. You'd be surprised, and nobody would ever admit it, but that's just the truth. The Something that really helped me realize this was as an undergraduate researcher. I worked in a lab, and the grad student who I worked for had a really amazing attitude. He had this I, attitude of, oh, like, I'm not that smart. If I can do this, anybody can do it. Honestly, I think that's the right mindset to have because, in in all honesty, you don't need to be smart to do grad school. You can figure out all the math or anything like that. Honestly, we have enough tools to help with that. All you really need is the persistence to really get through the program and really hack away at a problem until you really make some progress. So it's honestly, yeah, it's true. If I can do it, then anyone watching this video can also do it. And I really took that mindset from my mentor when I was an undergrad, and it stays with me. And if I didn't have him, I would have had such a skewed wrong conception of what grad school is really like. Another thing is having social skills. This is going to sound so mean, but having like good social skills sets you apart so much in grad school. This is so underestimated. People often think, oh, I need to be so smart to set myself apart in grad school. That's so not true because everyone's smart in their own thing, right? Because everyone's working on such niche topics in their field of research. Everyone's smart in their own thing. But many people who are in grad school have been doing school their whole life. They haven't been, especially nowadays, people haven't been socialized enough. And if you have the social skills, and social skills are something that you can work on, and if you do work on them, you will instantly set yourself apart. You will get so many more opportunities just because people like you more. And maybe that's not the best way uh, the world should work, but that is unfortunately how the world works, and you can use that in your favor. The next thing I want to talk about is nobody tells you what to do in your PhD. You kind of just start and you just start doing things on your own. And you think, oh, yeah, my advisor will tell me what to do. But they won't really tell you what to do either. What I was amazed by is we went through all this school. We went through, elementary school. We went through middle school. We went through high school. We went through college, and everyone kind of just told us what to do, and we just had to do it very well. And if you did it well, you would succeed, and if you didn't do it well, you wouldn't succeed. And that's kind of how we were taught the world works. But in grad school, you show up, nobody tells you what to do. It's so self-driven, and it's something that I had to get used to because in the beginning nobody told me what to do, so I didn't do anything. My progress was so slow in the first year of the PhD, and then I learned that you have to seek out the mentorship on your own. It is your responsibility as the grad student to do the learning. It's not so it's not like undergrad where you have to read these chapters of some book, do these practice problems, and then you learned it. No, you just have to, in the PhD, you have to ask your advisor, hey, I want to try this, or hey, I ran this experiment. What do you think? And then you get feedback and then you learn. That's how learning works in grad school. It's so different from any other type of schooling that you've had. So if you've never worked in a lab before grad school, I highly recommend you do so you really understand, because it's not like the classes that you take in college. And a lot of people who do well in college do end up pursuing grad school, but you're not going to succeed in grad school if all you know is how to succeed in college. You have to learn, one, the social skills like I talked about, and you have to learn how to learn by yourself without guidance. And the worst part about the self-motivated um, aspect of grad school is that if you're doing everything you're on your own and what you're doing doesn't match with what your PI wants you to do, which they didn't tell you to do, by the way, um, they're going to start being passive aggressive towards you. And I see this all the time. And it is the worst feeling in the world when you feel like your advisor hates you. Trust me, I've been in this boat. It makes going to lab miserable. So you have to be proactive and either ask your PI, ask your advisor, hey, what do you think I should be working on? What do you think I should focus on? There's no shame in asking. Honestly, that sets you apart because nobody really does ask. And it really helps to have an older student in the lab who's been through this before that you can lean on for advice. I really wish that's something that I had, because my lab has just me as a student. So I didn't really have um, older mentors to help guide me through, but it doesn't matter. Like, nobody cares if you don't have an older mentor. You just have to figure it out. And you will figure it out. You just have to learn these things. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is you get what you put in. The standards these days of the PhD are so incredibly low. You can this is going to sound horrible again, but the bare minimum to get a PhD is quite low. You don't have to work that hard to get a PhD. But that being said, if you do the bare minimum to get your PhD, you're not going to get a job, or no company is going to want to hire you. You might end up just getting a job that you would have gotten out of college. So it's not necessarily a good thing that the standards for getting a PhD are low. And obviously, this depends. I go to UC Irvine, and this was my experience, but there is a vast difference in the amount in the quality of PhDs that we get. There are some people who have contributed vastly to their field, and there's some people who've done like almost nothing. And the reason I say this is because as part of UC Irvine, we have to attend this required class for 2 years called a seminar series, where you get invited speakers from other universities. And part of that is you get the students who are about to graduate have to present their research as part of this seminar. So we see the talks from the students who are about to graduate every single year. And like, sure, yes, everyone's research is different. And it's harder for some people to accomplish as much than others. But the fact remains, like, there's such a vast gap in productivity between PhD students who are getting the same degree. However, it's not the degree that gets you where you want in life. It's what you put in. It's the skills that you gain during your PhD that get you where you want in life. And I didn't make this mindset shift. I used to be kind of salty and like almost resentful, like, oh man, I'm working so much harder than these other people who are going to just end up with the same degree as me. I know someone who goes to lab once a week for a couple hours, and they're going to get the same degree as me. That used to make me upset, but then you realize Sure, yes, we might have the same degree, but the opportunities that I'm going to get with the skills that I have are so much more than someone who just did the bare minimum. So I really hope you take that message with you. What you put into the PhD, especially because it's so self-motivated, what you put in is what you're going to get out. If you seek out the mentorship, you will get the mentorship. If you want to publish more, you will publish more. You just have to do the work. You just have to take the responsibility. I really hope this video helps you have realistic expectations of graduate school. And if you like this video, I encourage you to check out my last video, which was about how to 10x your productivity in the PhD.